Hello.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sit in It for a Bit on a Sunday with Arne and Carlos. And we're as always your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
And before we start this podcast, I think we do need to introduce ourselves because we haven't done a podcast for a very long time. And maybe there's new people here that don't know who we are. Maybe there's people here that forgot who we are. So without further ado,
I'm Arne.
and I'm Carlos. We are designers from Norway, and we do this lovely little podcast occasionally that we call Sit in It for a Bit, where you sit in it for a bit and we recap all things that happen around here.
Because we can't talk and knit at the same time. Actually, we can when we travel and sit around with people. Then we can sit and knit and do everything, but...
Well, and make a lot of mistakes, obviously.
But not when we do the podcast.
Yeah.
It's, you lose
concentration. So we are from Norway. We live on top of a mountain in an old train station that we have redesigned and made it into our home.
Yes.
We've been living here for 25 years. We've worked in design. We've worked in the fashion industry, traveled all over the world. And nowadays we run our YouTube channel. We have a little design business where we create patterns. We work with sock yarn that we color. And we do all sorts of fun things. There's always something happening around here.
Yes.
And we love doing all these things and entertaining you guys. We've been doing that for 10 years, actually.
Yeah.
This is...
Was it 10 years this year?
Yeah.
Since we started?
December 2nd, 2025 will be 10 years since we posted our first episode.
And we still have something
here on
to
YouTube.
talk about.
And we still have something to talk about. And a lot has changed as well, Arne, since we started doing our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We've come quite a long way.
We have.
Yeah, we started doing tutorials. And if you scroll back 10 years, you'll find every single tutorial that you need to learn how to knit. We've done that. And then during the pandemic, we started doing these podcasts. And people love them so much that we can't get out of them. So we keep coming in to recap our lives and talk about all sorts of things every now and then.
Sometimes people are surprised that it's not that we don't only talk about knitting, but as we said, you knit and we talk.
Yeah.
But we always have some knitting, I think, don't we?
Oh, we do, yeah. And we've specialized in knitwear when we were in the fashion industry. So, of course, knitting and knitwear is very close to our heart. But we love other things. We have a lot of interests and we've always wanted this channel to reflect that. So, everything from cooking to gardening. We love gardening.
Yeah.
You may have heard of the pajama gardeners. Well, that would be us, right? In the summer, anyway.
There's not much gardening right now.
Yeah.
It's very cold outside and we have a lot of snow.
And then Arne is doing all his little English paper piecing projects that he loves to do. Yeah. You love cutting fabric, don't you?
I love cutting fabric. There was one guy on one of our cruises, because we also do knitting cruises.
We do,
There was one guy who said he can't understand why his wife bought all this fabric to cut it up and sew it together again. He didn't see the joy. The joy, or what was the point? Cutting it up, buying whole fabric and cutting it up,
and then putting it back together again. But it is fun. We've enjoyed doing that. I love cutting things with paper.
And for us, it's like we're clean. I feel like we're cleaning up stuff. And we still have a lot of sewing thread from the time we were in the fashion industry, and some of that thread is almost rotten now.
Yeah.
So it's really good to use that when you sew the paper piecing, like you stitch the paper to the fabric to the paper.
Yeah.
So
another thing I love cutting is paper. And when we were in the fashion industry, and when we had, back in the old days when we didn't work with computers and we had to draw and illustrate everything by hand and everything was, back in those days, I used to love, so we'd do a presentation and we brought, some things with us. And sometimes there would be an illustration. And when you're illustrating and you're drawing and you're painting by hand, it can get very messy. So what we usually do is we take a scissor and then we cut out the illustration, the whole thing. And, it's corner. Doesn't have corners and angles. It's all curves, and then you're just doing that. It's so relaxing.
I think it's very nice. And actually, I miss that part.
Yeah, and then you do the spray. You spray on it, and then you put it on a new piece of paper, and then you get a perfect, clean drawing. But the process of cutting, this meticulous, time-consuming little thing that you do is just so wonderful. And it's actually the same with knitting, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess we had more time back then because we hardly do that anymore.
Yeah, no, now we knit instead.
Yeah, and we do a drawing on the computer with the pattern, and like the garment is on the computer, and then like it goes to the client. But it's different. It was different then because we made these nice books, and once there was this exhibition in Norway about Norwegian designers. We were one of the designers who were participate in the exhibition.
In the exhibit, yeah.
And our part was, of course, there was clothes on the dummy, but we also showed our inspiration books or our art journals. And that was very interesting because there was a room in that place with a big window, and we were behind that window looking down at people coming into the exhibition.
Oh yeah, from the upstairs, yes.
From the upstairs. And it was very interesting to watch people when they start looking through the scrapbooks or the art journals, because it was almost like there was something holy about it. Like they were very careful turning the pages.
They were, yeah.
And some people were surprised that we actually allow people to do that. But then again, the more rugged the book gets, the nicer it is.
I agree.
So if it falls apart, it's not a problem. It's just more beautiful.
Yeah, and we have a ton of those books. I'm pointing over there. There's a shelf here to my right.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, Arne, the cutting of the paper is just like the knitting. It's this kind of repetitive movement you do, and you're focusing at exactly that, and all your focus is going there, and it relaxes you. So, if you knit, if you crochet, if you embroider, if you cut paper, I mean, whatever if you paper piece, if you sew the little hexagons by hand,
together,
it's all this repetitive movement that gives you so much relaxation and enjoyment, which I think is wonderful.
It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of like a way to, you take a little bit of time out from the world, which can be good occasionally. Yeah.
So it's very nice.
And as we started mentioning, we have been traveling a lot in the past, actually since the second half of 2022. We've been doing a lot of trips. Because we're from Norway, we have this unique thing here called the Hurtigruten, which is a Norwegian coastal express, and it's a ship that travels the coast up and down. It's governmental. It's subsidized by the government here because the ship connects the isolated north to the south. And they're small ships. There's like 400 people.
And there's no discotheque.
No, there's no disco. And they have to be really small because they need to get into all these tiny little ports to deliver supplies. And the passengers, they can get out. And we did this the first time in 2007. And already then, we kept going out to explore it stops 34 times one way. So it takes 6 days to go from the south to the north. During those 6 days, it stops 34 times. In the daytime, you get off. And what we realized in 2007, the first time we did it, was that there's a yarn store, minimum one yarn store in every little place the ship stops. Unless there is no yarn store, but then you can just go to the supermarket and get high-end yarn anyway.
I think most supermarkets has yarn.
Yes.
Our supermarket has yarn.
Oh yeah, and good quality.
Yeah.
And then we had an issue once, which actually can illustrate the situation. In our country, we are a knitting country. We have traditions that date hundreds of years back. And most Norwegians today know how to knit. And one of the things that surprised us once was we were doing a knitting cruise. We do a knit along. We're going to talk a little bit about our Antarctica knit along soon. But anyway, we do a knit along, and we supply the yarn. which comes from our favorite yarn factory in Norway, which is Hillesvåg, which we also visit while we are on this cruise. Anyway, so we get a message about 2 months before the cruise that there's a person who's allergic to wool, and she is asking whether we could replace her yarn. And of course we said, sure, no problem.
That was a big problem.
Yeah, and then we started looking for a replacement, and it couldn't be alpaca, because alpaca is a very flat fiber, and for color work, for the specific color work project that we were doing, it wouldn't look nice. So we figured, let's try to get some acrylic.
And we were in like every yarn store around in this area, and there's many, and people more or less laugh at you. It's like, who wants acrylic? It's like, because they don't have acrylic anymore. Like back in the 70s, I remember there was acrylic in the store where I grew up. There were 2 choices, one wool and one acrylic, but that is gone.
Yeah. So we scoured the internet in Norway. I mean, we needed to get it quickly, so we figured we'll buy it from a Norwegian yarn store. We scoured the internet. We could not find a single Norwegian yarn store that provided anything in acrylic. We went to the capital of Norway, which is Oslo, which is located about 2.5 hours by car from here. No acrylic to be found anywhere. And then we realized that wool in Norway, wool is a really big deal. And we get taught from we're children, we get taught that wool is a very good thing to wear close to your body to protect you from the cold, obviously. Yeah. So Norwegians don't have a bad relationship with wool. On the contrary. So most people in Norway, they don't like knitting with acrylic. So they will preferably knit in wool and alpaca. Alpaca is a big deal in Norway as well.
Or the blends.
And the blends are great. But Norwegians have always loved wool and alpaca. And very few people knit with acrylic. Now, if you're allergic, what do you do? And we came to the conclusion that you probably order your acrylic from Denmark.
Maybe.
Or somewhere else. Because it's really hard to find it here.
You can order it from Argentina. We went to Buenos Aires on the trip to Antarctica, and we went to the street with yarn stores, and there were 2 huge yarn stores on each side of the corner of the streets, and there was hardly no wool. There was even in Ushuaia, which is almost like here. It's cold in the winter. Yeah, but hardly no wool.
Anyway, to put this into context, if you've never been to Norway, because now you're thinking we're super snobby, we don't do acrylic, we only do wool, la-di-da, right? But no.
La-di-da-di-da.
Well, yeah, that's what they say. No, it's not. It's the thing. Especially if you come from North America, if you come from the US or Canada, even if you come from the UK, I would say, what you will find very surprising in Norway is that all the wool here is very reasonably priced. So you don't get those crazy prices that you get in some countries where you need to spend $300 or $400 worth of money to buy yarn for a sweater. In Norway, you can actually get away with spending $200 or even $150 in a very high quality wool. Norwegian wool is very good. And it's very reasonably priced, which is the reason why all our guests, when we do the cruises, they go completely bananas when they get to the yarn stores, and they realize they do the knitter's math.
But most people are prepared because we tell them bring a soft bag in case. But also there's a lot of people who go to the thrift stores and look for suitcases and bags. And
so the knitter's math is you're still saving money. You come to Norway. You buy all this Norwegian yarn in Norway, and then you have to pay to check in a new suitcase when you go home, but you're still saving money because the yarn was so cheap.
Yeah. And it's a good yarn. It lasts forever. We have jackets from my great-grandfather, and they're still fine. It's like no peeling or nothing. On me it would peel. But it didn't peel on him.
I think on you it wouldn't peel as well.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm peel. Everything peels on me.
So anyway, you can buy. You can go to like the arts and crafts stores or special local yarn stores in Norway, and you can buy certain yarn brands that are Norwegian. Hillesvåg, Rauma, and Sandnes are the big ones, the big brands. But you can also go to the supermarket and you can get less branded yarn, but still 100% wool nonetheless, which is incredible. In financially speaking, in Norway, wool is not and does not have to be expensive at all, which is great.
Maybe some Norwegian. Maybe we think it's expensive. I don't know.
Well,
Foreigners don't.
I always, when we travel abroad and we go into a yarn store, I always get a shock.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
When I see skeins that cost $50, and you're like, what? And I mean, I can't tell you off my head how much a 100-gram skein of Hillsvåg costs, but I think it's around 100 grams of 100% wool. I think it's a $10-12 skein, and it's very high.
I think last time we were there,
and it's 100.
Yeah, was
it
last
50.
time I bought yarn for the Sattestad sweater? And I think I bought way too much. I have like 900 grams, and I think it's way too much. But I don't remember how much we paid.
Not much. I think maybe 50, 60 US dollars for 900 grams. So
we shouldn't talk about this because we don't know.
Yeah, no, I think people... we shouldn't talk about it because everybody's going to come here and buy yarn, and we're not going to get any yarn anymore.
Oh, there's so much yarn.
Yeah. Anyway, the story about the person who was allergic, we ended up, because we work for Rowan, we have worked for them in England for a very long time. We contacted Rowan and they sent us some soft yak, which was not wool, it was yak. And it had some acrylic in it. Yak. Yak.
It sounds like it's bad. Yak.
No, yak. It's an animal.
Yeah, I know. But the way you said it.
Anyway, we got yak or yak.
Yak.
Maybe yak. Yak. Yak.
In Norwegian, it's yak.
Yak. We got that, and luckily, our guest who was allergic to wool was not allergic to yak or yak. So
it worked out. And we found that yarn in our storage.
Well, yeah, we contacted Rowan, and Rowan suggested that, and then we realized that
we didn't get it then because we had it.
But they did tip us what we could use.
And I'm actually found this. Is this wool? This is also Rowan.
Yeah, I think this is called fine lace.
Fine lace
from Rowan.
Very thin. I'm gonna use this for a doll project we're gonna do in Japan. Look at this. It's very thin. I think this must be like needle. 1 millimeter or something.
A small needle.
I'm going to try. I'm going to bring some needles on the next trip.
Well, she's very small, the doll that you're...
Yeah, because we're working on this doll, the Lika doll from Japan. And she has a very nice dress made by Lisa in Canada.
Our lovely friend Lisa from Canada made this beautiful dress.
And this is the new Lika doll who can move everything.
Do you know what that is called?
I don't remember.
She is articulated.
She's articulated. There's 3 of them. We got 2. We missed 1, so we have to talk to our agent in Japan. Maybe she can get one.
We missed the most important one, actually.
Yeah, but that's why she was sold out. But this yarn is so thin, so I'm gonna check it out. Maybe it's so thin that you can make something like this or this in this.
Yeah.
So that's something we have to work on, but we travel so much and there's so many things to do.
Many things to do.
Maybe I could do swatches.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice. Oh, so we're going to go on a cruise in Norway to get more yarn. We're leaving on Wednesday next week, so I think that is this one of your cruise projects?
I think this is one of my cruise projects, but maybe I have other projects, so maybe just swatching. Yeah. You're bringing your sock yarn.
Well,
you almost finished the sock in Antarctica.
Yes, and then apparently, a friend of ours was eyeing my yarn because she was doing granny squares in the sock yarn, and she got a little bit, not really upset, but she's looking at me saying that I need that and I can't find it anywhere. And I love her so much that I decided to just unravel the whole thing and gave her the yarn.
Winded up the whole thing.
Yeah, I was almost, I was about 3/4 of the way.
Yeah. And I looked through all the stash we have, and I haven't found more of that color combination.
So I unraveled my sock and gave her the yarn.
I think she has a problem if she's going to
finish.
She
might have a problem. But anyway, it's not with me because I did all I could so that she could get the yarn.
Maybe we have socks we can unravel.
So yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, my project is to knit Arne a pair of socks.
I'm wearing this today.
It's also our design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not her color combination.
No. I want to knit Arne a pair of socks with our sock yarn, and I was pretty much almost finished.
Yeah,
I'm starting again with a new color.
Yeah.
So
are you using the one I found for you, the blue one? Was it in blue? Where is that?
I've got two with me.
Two, yeah. And you have to show what you finished in Antarctica.
So anyway, in Antarctica, I'm going to show. In Antarctica, we were there in January, which is a reason why we delayed the podcast. Okay, so Antarctica, it was not a bucket list destination for us.
We have never thought about going to Antarctica.
Never thought about going to Antarctica, and then our tour leader suggested it, and we said, sure. I mean, why not? We were thinking it was going to be a one-off, but we loved Antarctica so much that we're going back on a new cruise.
Yeah, and some of you already asked, are you going back because you want to come? So we're going again in
2027 back to Antarctica.
But then we do a longer trip. We're going to pass by the Arctic Circle.
Antarctic Circle.
So we will be way.
We didn't cross the Antarctic Circle this time. We were mainly around 63 degrees south, so we should have gone a little bit lower, but we didn't. So next time we're gonna cruise. But anyway, we do these knitting cruises, and it's really lovely. We bring a group of people. We were 39 people on the Antarctica trip, so 36 plus Arne, me, and our tour leader, and it's really nice because you get on the ship and you're just a tiny little part of the ship. The ship carried about 300 passengers. You know, we don't like big cruise ships, so you will never see us on board a huge cruise ship. We only do little ships.
We done the ship to Denmark sometimes, and then we hide in a room
I don't
because
like that.
it's not nice. Like you walk out of your room and there's like a band playing and there's discotheques and
so there's 300 people there, and we are about 39 people, so it's a small percentage, but boy, do we
had some
people
drama.
I mean, people notice us, so
because
people start coming up to the group, and they're very interested in what we're doing. A lot of there's a lot of French and Germans on these trips, obviously, and the Germans are a little bit more they're a little bit more reserved, but the French will come up to us because they're very interested but the French are very interested in the techniques. So they want to look at how you do it, and it's just lovely. You get to meet a lot of people outside of the group as well.
I think like when we went to Paris and to that yarn store before Christmas, we had like two ladies who came, and they have been knitting all their lives, and I was working on the polar bear sweater we had then, and it was so interesting because I explained how we do it, and they said, that's exactly how we did it in the old days also. And they did it with steeking and knitting on the round. And so I think they're very interested in these things in France. Yeah,
and then we do a knit along on the ship. So we don't teach classes because there's so much to do. That you're always busy with, I mean, my social calendar on board was full all the time.
And we're always around. So if people have questions, we can show things and we can teach people things if there's something they want to know.
Yeah. So what we do is like a mystery knit along instead.
This time it was very mysterious.
Well, I mean, we gave everybody black and white yarn in our little kit, and then we said to everybody, that it may not be a penguin, but in the end, it was a penguin.
Everybody talked about the penguin from the rib.
So the first thing they got was the rib, right? So they did this first, and then a few days later, we gave them this. So
and now I see penguins.
Yeah, but
when we made the first prototype, I didn't see.
But when you look at the chart, you don't see the penguins. But when you look at it in 3D, you do. Anyway, and then it kept growing. We gave away 4 clues, so and it ended up like this. And this year, I wanted to do a project that we could finish on board, and most people finished their hat.
Yeah. There were many hats.
There were many of these, and it's super cute. And this is mine. I mean, I'm very proud that I actually was able to finish the project as well.
I didn't knit one, but I made a prototype.
You knit one.
But before we went
You knit one on board as well.
Did I?
We gave it to Liam.
Oh yeah, I made one.
Yes.
I didn't remember.
We sold the prototype.
Oh yeah, I made one.
Yes.
And we sold the prototype.
Well,
they have an auction.
The auction is for the HX Foundation that supports local communities and environmental projects in all the places where HX travels.
Like in Antarctica
and in Svalbard. So we donated a hat. We actually donated the prototype for the auction, and actually I'm very happy with the price. It sold for $190 for the hat, which means that somebody donated $190 to the foundation.
Which also means that next time we're gonna knit some hats and
donate them.
Yeah,
but we can only donate one, huh? Otherwise it's not exclusive.
We could do 2 different color combinations.
Yeah.
Or we can do one with the pom-pom.
Yeah, we could, yeah. And then we gave the last hat, and then I knit this one, and then Arne knit another one, and he gave...
you gave.
We gave his...
Because we switched hats.
Yeah, we gave Arne's hat to Liam, who was an environmental scientist working on the ship.
And we met him a few times, and we won't see him on the next cruise to Svalbard, he said, because he's going to England on a small island. I think it was outside of Isle of Man or something. Yeah. And he has a project to do research on birds, which sounds very interesting. And he should help his aunt in the garden of the house. Sounds very nice.
Very nice.
So he has now a hat with penguins.
And we gave him Arne's hat because Arne's hat was knitted a little nicer than mine.
No, it wasn't nicer, but it was bigger because I'm probably looser with the tension when I do the floats. Yeah,
the thing I didn't do, which I should have done, was gone up a size in needles. So, but we blocked it. So it's a little bit bigger now than what it was before. The way we block, we don't soak it in water and stretch it. We just put an iron on the on the fabric with a towel.
Flatten it, and then it's fine.
So pretty much wet towel goes wet over, and then we just...
We do that on everything.
Yeah, and then it expands to the kind of...
Yeah, I think it came out nice. There's nothing wrong with the tension. I think the tension...
The tension's good.
The problem is the floats that you probably should be a little bit looser when you went from one color to the other, but it fits me perfect.
Yeah, it fits well.
Penguins.
Yeah, so this was the mystery project that we did for Antarctica, and then we couldn't keep it a secret, and we can't keep this a secret and redo it again in 2027, the same one, because we did a lot of videos when we were in Antarctica.
But this is a good one. I wonder what we should do the next time.
That's the thing. Well, but that will prove our worth as designers if we can figure out something amazing for next time. That is not this, but it was a fun project.
I have an idea.
No, but let's not talk about them here.
No. Oh.
It was a great project, and people really loved it. They loved that it came in parts. So, I mean, we can show the kit or the bag that we give out because there's one there.
Yeah, but that's going to be a new one.
No, but everybody gets a bag like this that they can customize as well. Put little things on it, and it's got the yarn. And then we give out the pattern in increments, every few days. So that was fun.
That's a mystery.
Yeah. So it was fun. And for the coastal route, the one we're doing next week, there's a knit along, but everybody gets the full pattern when they get the kit. Yeah. And it's the same process. We all knit it together, and when people have questions, they come and ask. Yeah. And we're there all the time.
We're going to do at least one lecture or maybe two.
One lecture because it's only a one-way.
One lecture on that trip because there's also new people, so we have to tell people who we are. But in Antarctica it was very different because there was so much going on. There was like landings and zodiac trips, and there's a lot of things going on.
Kayak, snowshoeing.
There was a lot of things going on the ship from the crew. So
the science team.
But I made a sweater before we left. So because I just finished a polar bear sweater that you've probably seen, and I couldn't wear that in Antarctica.
Tell them why.
Because then if you post your picture of yourself with the polar bear sweater in Antarctica, all the comments, they would just pop in like there's no polar bear.
Yeah, we would be told off if Arne wore a polar bear sweater. It would have been told off in the comments that there are no polar bears in Antarctica. But now I'm going to tell you a fun fact that we know that maybe you don't know. The word Arctic is Greek for bear.
Yeah.
And so, right? Arctic means polar bear. Antarctica,
No bear.
So no polar bear.
No polar
We
bear.
knew that. So that's why we didn't bring the polar bear sweater to
But I
Antarctica.
have another fun fact. I have to check this up, but this is really nice because we have these books about Scandinavia in the 16th or 1700s. And I have to read this up and we can talk about it another time. But there has been a polar bear in north of Norway,
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
according to the book. So I made this one, a penguin sweater.
Yeah.
There's we don't have a pattern for this out, but we're gonna talk to Rowan. Maybe they can do it for us in different sizes, like this green one, because it's knitted on the round and steeked.
It's oversized. It's got like a boxy kind of fit.
I have to steam this. I still haven't steamed the arm.
And the big challenge here was design-wise. I mean, it's a colorwork sweater with most of it in blue, and then you've got the colorwork on the top. But the challenge with the design on this one was to get the neckline to not chop the head off a penguin. So we did have to do a lot of careful.
I was so close doing
Arne
it.
was very close to chopping the head off, and then we had to rework it. But it actually came out nice because if you look at the little stars, actually the way the stars cut into the sweater is quite nice.
But you see, on this one, it doesn't matter if you crop the pattern. It's
Yeah, here you can crop it wherever you
like
want.
on the traditional satin sweater with the X and O, it's always cropped some of the patterns, but it was a little bit harder.
Yeah,
since
it would have been a
it's head.
disaster if the penguin's face would have been cut off. That would have been terrible. But we managed to do it without
We put
that.
it up a little bit, and then the rib was smaller. This is a bigger rib. It worked. I love this volume.
Yeah, the volume's nice.
I'm gonna do more in this volume. You don't like it that much because I made them a little bit shorter. Because
No, I'm going to tell you, I like it if it's cropped but oversized. That's okay.
yeah,
So if
it's a bit oversized.
if it's oversized on my body, then I don't mind whether it's a little bit shorter, because then you can just wear something longer underneath and you get the layered look. But if it's tight,
that's not nice. But this is a bit loose.
Yeah, and most of the sweaters you knit are a little tight on me, so I can't wear them.
more stitches.
And he does it on purpose so that I don't take them from him.
No, you use this a lot. This is not tight on
I
you.
haven't used that a lot.
You have used it.
Maybe once.
Is this tight on you?
It shrunk in the closet, probably.
Something is wrong with the closet.
What's wrong with me?
It shrunks in the closet.
What's wrong with my closet? Sorry, what's wrong with my
But
closet?
this kind, I can do like my grandmother did on her jackets when they were worn out. She cut the sleeve and she knitted the rib to make them 3/4.
Yeah.
So I could actually cut off the rib and just knit a little bit extra and make a new rib.
Yeah.
If you want it longer.
No.
So you can use. Or I can make another one.
No, but as I say, I like it. I like the cropped look when the sweater is
wider.
oversized. It has to be wide, and there has to be volume on around here and here.
So if I make this one for you, I can add 2 penguins on front and 2 on back. I can make another one for you.
No, it's okay.
I would like to make one for you.
Oh, okay.
Can
thank
I make
you.
one for you?
Please.
Yeah, for the next cruise.
For the next
In
cruise.
27, we will have matching sweaters. Or you can have one in black.
No, I want the blue. I like the blues.
The 2 blues
I
are
like
nice.
the blues. Yeah.
This is the Norwegian wool blue. So, and can I talk about something? It's knitted related.
Okay.
It's something fun I found. Because yesterday I was looking for a book all over the house and I could not find the book. And I didn't understand what happened because I bought it on one of the cruises. I was 100% sure I brought it home. It was not in the ship. And I was looking through the bookshelves because I have organized now.
Well, your studio is getting messy.
But I tried to organize it. There's like one part with folk costumes from Norway. There's one part with international folk costumes. There's knitting books and embroidery. And this one should be in the embroidery book shelf. And I didn't find it. But
I'm telling you,
it
it's
was there.
getting
But it was
messy.
there. I found it this morning. I found it. I couldn't find it last night.
Your room's getting messy.
But I found this book. It's from Maihaugen. It's a museum in Lillehammer, and they talk about women's most important garments, and they talk about the knitted sweater is called the nightshirt.
The nightshirt, yes.
This is kind of cool because I checked my genealogy, and this lady called Anne Rasmus' daughter, she was from Gausdal, where I'm from.
Tuftum.
Yeah. And
Now Vikesrud.
Yeah, and I checked my genealogy, and she's actually listen carefully. She's the sister of a man who had a son who married a daughter of one of my great parents. But look.
So she's married in. She's not blood.
No, she's not. She's not blood.
She's married into.
No, she's not married in, but he married into her family. So their
okay.
kids and their ancestors and mine are actually related. But this is kind of cool. This is from 1725.
Yeah, it says Anne Ramsdotter från Tuftum, now Vikelsrud. Rasmusdotter från Tuftum, now Vikelsrud in Gausdal, left behind in 1725 a sweater, bundningströja. A knitted sweater. Bundningströja means knitted sweater.
Knitted sweater.
That was valued at 1 ort and 10
shilling. 8 shilling. 10
ort and 10 shilling.
Yeah, that was because when she died, they registered.
And then another one, and then one knitted nightshirt, almost worn out.
Yeah.
Valued at 1 ort and 8 shilling.
I don't know how much that is today, but when she died, there were 2 knitted sweaters or
very cool
garments left, and this is from when someone died, they put up all the things of value and all the things she owned. They registered all the things she owned.
And they are here.
There's pictures of them. This is actually things. I think they have these things in Majögen in Lillehammer. But then I started to read more about these knitted shirts from the 1700s, and they said that in Gudbrandsdalen, where I'm from, they think that people didn't sleep in these.
So it's this one.
Yeah.
It's this one here.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But what they said in the book is that in Gudbrandsdalen, they didn't think that people slept in these nightshirts because they had a lot of silver embroidery or gold embroidery and beading, and some were knitted with knit and pearl with 8-leaf roses, like Annemor said. But in Gudbrandsdalen, women slept in a skirt and a blouse.
Oh, okay.
Or naked.
Oh.
But in Denmark, people slept in the nightshirt. They said in this book, and they also talked about this book of Swedish folk costume, and they said in Sweden, women wear the nightshirt under the leaf. What's that on top of the dress?
Oh,
it's like a corset, but not a corset. It's
the
just
bodice.
A
bodice.
So
not body, bodice.
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 Yeah.
Bodice.
So there was a skirt with a top, like a vest in fabric, and under that they used the
Is this the book you lost?
Yeah. And under they used a knitted nightshirt. So in Sweden they used it the same way as they used it in Norway. According to this book. And this is the picture. From Halland, you see this couple, they're knitting socks.
Lovely.
I think I love to research these things. You're not so interested, are you?
Yes, of course I am. No, I am.
You're looking up in the room.
Well, I'm looking at the mess you're making here. You have to tidy up, Arne.
Yeah, but I think I like
because he came to me yesterday. I can't find the book. I can't find anything, and I'm like, okay.
No, but the problem was that the book was this size, and I was looking for something big.
Anyway,
it was just in between all the other things.
Anyway, we had a but it's a very no. I find these things quite interesting as well. I mean, especially considering we've been working with textiles and garments for 25 years now,
and
professionally.
25. So that is kind of cool.
Very cool.
It also makes sense if they put on a lot of embroidery. You wouldn't sleep with it or hide it. It was made to be shown off under the dress, which is kind of cool. And for this picture, it said that this is a knitted nightshirt.
Yeah. So anyway, Arne is not the only one that loses things. I mean, he lost the book the other day, but you found it.
I found the book.
I lost my glasses in Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah.
That was a big drama.
Yeah, when we were in
my
Ushuaia, just boarding the ship, ready to leave, the wind, which was very powerful, took my glasses away, and they
We
were
were out
never.
on deck looking around, looking at the ship, and suddenly you heard like a clock on the floor, and we turned around, and you tried to grab them, and they were gone. And there were like these small openings, and it hit one of the openings and fell in the ocean.
Yeah, and they were never to be found. Luckily, I was able to communicate with my optician in Norway, and 2 days after we got home, I got a replacement pair. So I'm good now. And while we were in Antarctica, I mean, I was lucky. I had prescription sunglasses, and it was actually the light was very bright outside. So
Even I wear my
even Arne,
sunglasses.
who hates wearing his prescription sunglasses, had to wear them. So I was lucky that I could see in Antarctica because I had those sunglasses. A little bit harder sitting indoors with sunglasses, but
But
you do what you have to do. And then
that
it was
scary, actually.
oh well, it's
I think
life.
it was scary. Like I was thinking, like, well, if that happened to me, I wouldn't see anything.
Luckily, it happened to me.
Yeah,
So
but
for our next
still-
cruise, we're gonna buy those strings to attach. It's a sure sound.
We're that age.
Yeah, it's a sure sign of old age when you have to wear those.
I saw a young lady on this TV program where they sing each other's songs, like famous artists are singing.
Who was that?
What's her name again? She's very good. She do like the techno music.
Oh, Ina?
Ine Rolfsen. She was wearing these cool ones.
Okay, so let's go get cool ones. I want cool ones.
And we're gonna bring extra glasses.
Yeah.
I have extra glasses, but you have to buy a pair.
No, I
of
have
extra.
extra glasses somewhere.
But this can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
If it's windy.
It could happen to anyone. And actually, the hardest thing was coming back to Norway. Actually, coming into the city when we arrived in Ushuaia after the cruise, I was still wearing my sunglasses. But then it wasn't sunny because it was late in the evening, but it wasn't dark. And so I took them off and I couldn't see anything because in Ushuaia, unlike Antarctica, there's a lot of signs. There's a lot of information that you read.
Yeah, and you couldn't
I couldn't see a sign. It was horrible. And then arriving in Norway, I had to watch TV with sunglasses at dark, which was really hard. So when I got my new glasses, I was, I got in the car and just went straight. I couldn't drive. Arne drove because I didn't have sunglasses, or I didn't have glasses. And it was a cloudy, dark day.
And we have like two tunnels, and I said, "You're not driving with sunglasses into a tunnel."
No, not really. No.
Oh, Freya,
What
she's
did she do?
taking my yarn.
Oh.
No.
She's taking his yarn. Anyway, that was a very dramatic thing, but all is well that ends well. So we're fine. And during the cruise, we also got some lovely gifts. We have very gifted and talented people, I have to say. Yeah. And this is
many gifts. We can show one gift this time.
This is from our friend Susan.
Look at this guy. He is so cute.
And he's got your hair.
Yeah, and she made him. It's sewn and it's wire and it's like the hair is needle felted on the top of the head.
The face is incredible.
It is incredible, and she showed us pictures. She's been on a cruise before, or if you have been, if you see us now, and I've seen some of the dolls, and they were so beautiful.
Susan's dolls,
yeah.
Yes.
And suddenly we have a new friend. She can be with the Blight dolls. He can be with the Blight dolls.
This is actually incredible. The question is, though, no. Is it you?
It's not me.
It's not you. But
he is so cool. I like the.
It's not you, but you could be related because of the really nice hair.
These days, everything can be family.
What if
the profile, and then profile?
Oh, I got replaced, Arne.
Oh yeah, it's you in a few years.
Anyway, yeah, very cute. Oh, and he can sit down.
I don't know, but I like him when he's standing. He has this really cool look.
Yeah, with the pants. The pants are really nice, I have to say.
So this was a very nice gift. So thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
He has a very nice place in
the other house.
Yeah. Next to the other dollhouse.
Yeah.
There's dollhouses.
Yeah, it's a little bit crowded up there in this dollhouse here with all the lights.
So, but I don't know, Carlos. Today I think we should stop because I feel I need cake.
Oh, cake.
I need cake.
Oh, you're going to go out and buy cake.
I'm going to go out and buy cake.
Yeah.
It's Saturday, isn't it?
It's Saturday, yeah.
When we film this, and is it tomorrow? It's out.
Tomorrow it's
today,
out,
when you
so-
see this, we had cake yesterday.
So it's fresh off the
Oven.
of the phone. But yeah, cake. And living where we live on top of a mountain, it means where are you going, to Bang or to Bruflat?
Bruflat.
So to drive to Bruflat to buy cake is a 3-kilometer downhill. Takes about 10 minutes before we get to the store. It's more of a so it's a tiny little town, tiny. There's not even 100 people there, and it's more like a general store would have been in the olden days. It's not really a general store, but
No, there's
there
a
is
grocery store, and
there's yarn and
yarn
there's
and paper
and pots and
electric
pans
things.
and electric things
corner.
and flowers. So
Yeah.
and it's small. It's very small. So it actually it is. It's a modern. Let's call it a modern general store, and quite lovely.
And we have a thrift store. Maybe I should pop in to the thrift
But
store.
we're supposed to save money.
And we're not buying stuff this year
Hmm.
because we spent so much on the renovation of the house or the extension.
So we're saving money this year.
But
Not
cake,
doing anything.
But cake, Carlos.
Yeah. Anyway, before we round up the podcast, we've got some announcements. We're back now, and we'll be posting the Sit in It a little bit more regularly than we have been doing before. Some announcements. We have a sale going on our web shop. Everything is at 70% off, which brings patterns like these down to $2.
Nothing.
To nothing, right? So if you've been eyeing patterns, we've decided to extend the sale until tomorrow, Monday. So you still have a little shot. Actually, we'll extend it to Tuesday, and then you have an extra shot at getting some new patterns for your collection. So do go to arnecarlos.com and check out our sale. Other news is that we last Wednesday, I believe it was, we did an interview
I forgot
with
about
Irina Shar, who is a YouTuber as well. She's lovely. She's from Siberia, right?
Siberia, yeah.
Very lovely person.
Living in Boston.
Lives in Boston, yes. And she has a podcast or a YouTube channel, and she does these interviews called Fiber Chats.
And she chatted with us.
She chatted with us, and she asked us
Things.
all sorts of questions, including the dreaded dominant color thing.
Which we answered.
Which we answered,
if
honestly.
If people hate us after this, please hate me, not hate her, or not hate Carlos. I'm the one who is really hardcore.
Well, anyway, no. It was all done innocently and in good spirits and friendly. But anyway, her podcast, Fiber Chats, is great. She's actually done a whole thing. She told us she did all the Rowan designers last year, except for Arne and me. And she wanted to do us as well. But unfortunately, back in the summer, I was struggling with my mother's health. She has Alzheimer's and lives in a home, and then my dad's all alone. And he's 88. So it's a little bit of a tough situation in my family right now. And at that time, we were having some hardships in our family, so we couldn't do it then. But now we were able to do it, which is great. And I'm sure that since I brought up my mother, a lot of people who know about my family situation are asking. My mom's still okay. She had a bad period, but now she's actually quite okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's not worse in any way than it was. And my dad's okay too. So we can continue traveling and for a while now and see how things go. Although it is tough, I have to say. It is they're in another country, so we have to travel a lot to make sure that they're okay and visit them often and all that. So it's not easy. It never is, though, with sick parents. But anyway,
that's on the 20. No, when was her?
On the 22nd, I believe. We will be posting. She told us that when she is ready to publish it, she will post on Instagram and tag us. And once she tags us, we'll repost. And we'll probably also be able to repost it on YouTube or on the community area of YouTube as well. So, but I believe it's on the 22nd. I don't know at what time her podcast is live, but I'm sure all you need to do is go there. Irina,
or you can subscribe, then you get a notification.
Exactly. Yeah, you can do that too. Irina Shar is her name, and Fiber Chats is the podcast, and that's true. Or go and subscribe to her channel, and then you get a pling.
And you can do the same here if you want to have a notification when we're coming with a new episode.
Right.
Put on the subscribe.
Yeah. If you become a subscriber, then you can turn on their notifications so that you never miss an episode. Yeah. The Arne Carlos family is really nice. So there's a lot of fun. Yeah.
You can also be a member.
You could.
We have like live chats, and we have, what's it called?
Monthly shenanigans, all sorts of things.
And you will be the first one to know when we're going to travel.
Yeah, so members get additional content that you can subscribe to as well. And the way to get into the members area is by looking for the subscribe button here on our YouTube channel. And next to that, there's a join button. You click join, select your tier, and off you go. We haven't actually figured out the shenanigans or what we're going to do in February. I believe we're going to do a live chat, probably when we come back from our knitting cruise. Yeah. So
there's no time before.
Probably, dear members, there will be a live chat around February 28th, I would think. So, and we'll do it in the late at night so that people can chat at a time when they're not working. I think that would be kind of us.
Before 12 o'clock, because we change around 12. We're like Cinderella.
We have a Cinderella kind of thing. And then a final exciting announcement is that when we were in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, because we had a knitting group with us, we obviously went to visit Joji Locatelli in her little place. She lives in an area called Caballito in Buenos Aires. Very lovely. I pronounce it Caballito because my Spanish is from another part of the world, but in Argentina it's Caballito.
We brought home one of our bags.
We did, yeah. We'll show you another time. Joji gave us a beautiful leather bag and a beautiful little leather case to keep needles. I forgot. I mean, we should have brought it and shown everybody.
You should have that for your computer.
But beautifully made. So, but anyway, we're going to meet with Joji on Teams soon to start discussing the possibility of bringing her to Norway and having her.
She loves Norway. She said she's been there like 3 times.
She loves Norway, but she's never been on the coastal cruise. And so we are now exploring the possibilities of bringing Joji Locatelli to do a north and south designer cruise here in Norway. So we're the north and she's the south, obviously. So that'll be fun. That'll probably be a cruise in 2026, which will be Arne Carlos and Joji Locatelli co-hosting. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yes.
So yeah, we did all the formalities as well, Arne.
I think I need cake. And I have to put this Anne Rasmus daughter into my genealogy paper as a little like spice.
Right. And I'm going to go and move a few books from the library that we have into Arne's room because you do have some space up in your shelves, which is great. Yeah. That's why I was looking before. I was kind of planning where to put the books. But anyway, we are excited to be back. So keep your eyes peeled for the next episode of Sit in It for a Bit. And remember that we alternate on our channel. Every other time we do Sit in It for a Bit, and then every other time we do a regular tutorial. Yeah. So next time you see us, it will be a tutorial, right?
Yes.
And then we'll do the Sit in It for a Bit the time after that. So thank you so much for watching, and we will connect with you again very soon.
Yeah. So see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.